What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Brandon Lester Fishing. Back out here today after these late summer crappie. Water temperature is still 77.9, so it's definitely still late summer. But I think we can catch a few fish. I got a good school found right here. Let's get up here. I'll keep it short and sweet. Get up here and see if we can catch a few. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all stay tuned. While I'm easing back up to them, I'll show y'all what I'm using today. I've got the 1/16 crappie magnet double cross jig head. That's a show enough color crappie magnet. 4-pound vicious 100% fluorocarbon. About a 6-foot leader of that tied to 7-pound vicious panfish braid. This is the 7'2" mustad detector rod. Really good little jig rod for crappie. And a 2500 size dowel reel. I'll link all that stuff in the description of the video. Those of you that have been around a while, you've seen it a lot before. I'm gonna be fishing in an area where there's a lot of white crappie today. That's why I'm using the crappie magnet and not the trout magnet. I may switch it up a little bit and try the trout magnet some too. I don't know, but if they'll bite the crappie magnet, we'll throw that. For the most part, white crappie like a bigger bait than black crappie do, so that's the reason for that. We've got a brush pile right out here in about 14 feet of water that's got a load of crappie on it, so we're gonna drop that bait down in there and see if we can get us one. I added a number 7 split shot on there just to get it down a little quicker. There we go. We got us one that time. I come right out the other side of him and he thump. Just couldn't stand it. Nice white crappie. Pretty fish. Not a great big one. I guarantee you there's some in there bigger than him. But he'll get us started. Here's another one. That's a little bitty guy there. All different sizes in there. Try over to the left a little bit. That's a pretty good size pile right there. If I can ever find where the big ones are sitting, they'll probably all be sitting together. There we go. That looked like a pretty good one there on active target. I think that's gonna be a pretty nice one. Oh yeah. Big old white crappie. Come over here, boy. Maybe we can flip him up here. That's a nice one there now. I knew there was a couple of big ones down in there. I kept seeing them. I switched to that. I think they call that fast lane is what crappie magnet calls that. Man, what a pretty fish. Ah, that's cool. Big old white crappie. Let's let him go. I got enough crappie. He's going right back down in there to the school. That was cool. Now, he was not in the main part of that school. He was sitting over to the side. I just happened to pan over to the side and I saw 2 or 3 sitting on a little limb right there. And that's where I got him from. So we're gonna send another one right down in that same spot and just see if he don't have a buddy down there. There's another good one. God, he chased it a long ways, and I mean when he thumped it, buddy, he come unglued on it. Thump. A white crappie's got a lot bigger mouth than a black, if you'll notice. It's quite a bit bigger, and when they hit a bait, they thump it a lot harder than a black will. That's cool. Them are some good fish, man. He was on that same little place where the last one was. I'll let y'all see right there. Y'all see me sinking down to him. I gotta keep it up or I'll get hung up, but he decided he wanted it. He came a long ways to get it. I kind of wish I had my jig pole with me today. I'm in a good situation to use a jig pole right here. I've seen a lot of places where if I had my jig pole, it would come in pretty handy, but we'll make do with what we got. Man, there's a couple more big ones right there. I think them are mostly small ones, I really do. I got one of them, but I don't think there's very much to him. He's okay, but I mean, don't get me wrong, he'd be a keeper, but he ain't what we're after. Another one. I hope y'all can see my rod tip in the video. I don't know, it's hard to keep everything in focus, but I guarantee you that rod tip, when them fish hit it, that rod tip's jarring, I promise you. I mean, it's just boom. That's the reason why we crappie fish right there. Ain't no doubt. Here comes one. Get it. Get it. Oh, gosh, he followed it a long ways not to eat it. It makes you wonder, why in the world would a fish follow a bait 30 feet and put all that energy into trying to get that bait and then not get it? At the very last minute, he sees something that he just didn't like, didn't want. Maybe he's been caught before. Maybe he hadn't. Maybe he saw the hook. Maybe he saw the line. Maybe, you know, you just never know the reason why a fish doesn't go ahead and bite the bait. I think that's the biggest thing that live scope and active target has shown us, is just how many fish follow our bait in a day's fishing and don't actually eat it. It's pretty crazy, really. There we go. Boom. Oh yeah, that's another one of them good ones. Look at him come up and waller on top like a bass. Golly, he jumped too. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I mean, gosh, dang it. I knew I should have got the dip net. He had it way down in his throat. Dang it. He wasn't no great big one. He was about the size of that last big one we caught, but doggone it. What happens is when they take it way down in their throat like that, you get them in the back of the throat and that hook can't penetrate all the way through their mouth. So you end up just skin hooking them in that skin in the back of the throat. And sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Trust me, I've lost a lot of money because of that very same thing in the bass fishing world. There he is. That's a decent one, I think. Yeah, just a decent one. He's been caught before. That's the first one I've caught this morning. They had a mark on him where he's been caught before. Just a little keeper. But he was fun. I'll take him. There is a ton of bait fish around me right now. There's actually some bass out here schooling in behind me. As you go into the late summer and early fall like this, the presence of bait fish is very, very important. Even though it's still hot outside, and the water temperature is still in the high 70s. Make no mistake, no, these fish don't have a calendar, but they know what time of the year it is. They know that winter's coming. They know they need to be around some shad and starting to feed up a little bit. The difference in this time of the year and later on in the fall, the biggest difference that I believe is the actual feed windows where they are actually in the feeding mood are not as long as they are as you get later on into the fall. Seems like later on into the fall, you'll get to certain days where they feed about all day long. There's one. Like a decent one. Probably nothing about like the last one. Yeah. Just a good keeper fish. Nothing wrong with him though. I mean, if I was keeping them to eat, they'd be a real good eater. See you, buddy. I'll show y'all what this brush pile looks like. You can probably see it pretty decent where I've been sitting, but it's just you can see the brush right down in here. You can see them crappie sitting right up in the top of it, right up in here. And then there's another little spot right over here where I caught a couple also, right out of that. There we go. Just had to find me a fresh school up, that's all it was. And we did. Another nice one. Not a big one, just a nice one. But I'll catch them like that all day, every day. He'll be a big one one day. He's built right, thick, healthy. Here's another one. Boom. About the same size. Nice one. That double cross jig head is a really good jig head. Y'all know when I'm fishing for black crappie, I use that trap magnet head a lot. And it's a good jig head too. It's got a number 8 hook in it, I believe it is. But that, the 1/16 crappie magnet head, pretty sure it has a number 4 mustad in it. I know it's a mustad. It's either a 4 or a 2. I think it's a 4. And man, when you put it in them, you just don't lose very many of them. I say that. I lost that one earlier, but I know why I lost him. I was dumb and tried to boat flip him. I shouldn't have never done that. There's a nice one. Boy, he shot up out of there like a rocket. Boom. Come on up here, big white crappie. Yeah, buddy. That's a good one. That is a good one. Pretty fish. Let's put him back. It's a pretty one. Here's a decent one. Man, he just barely. I just felt it get heavy. That's it. No thump, no nothing. Just felt it get heavy. That's where that braid comes in. A lot of people ask me why I use that braid instead of straight mono. It's because I can feel every little thing. I have converted a lot of people to using braid for crappie on my guide trips. And it's solely because they realize that they've been missing fish that they would have caught if they were using that braid. All right, y'all. we're gonna wrap it up. That was a fun day. We caught a bunch of fish, not a lot of big fish, but we did catch a bunch of fish today. They definitely bit better first thing this morning, and that's been the common theme. I've been fishing quite a bit over the past week, probably 4 or 5 days, and every day it's like they bite really good for the first 3 or 4 hours of the morning, and then when that sun gets up real high and it gets hot, they definitely slow down. You can still catch a few, but you got to work at it a lot more. So better days lie ahead for sure. We need some cool nights, and I'm looking forward to fall. But appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little something. I'll see you next time right here. Brandon Lester Fishing.